What's up, YouTube? It's Ryan G, and I'm back again with another video, guys. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of different type of content, motivational content, sports content, hot takes, where we just talk about a variety of different topics and things like that. Kind of similar to what we're going to do today. We are going to do a brief recap of what happened this past weekend. A lot was in store. A lot of things happened. And really and truly, guys, I'm not going to go all factual in this video. I'm really just going to kind of go through a brief rundown of some sports this past weekend, especially that Super Bowl, right? Between the Eagles and the Chiefs, for all the football fans out there that watch the NFL throughout the season. I just want to do a brief little, spiel of like what I feel about the whole weekend. Guys, take a look at a lot of my content. I do a lot of different types of videos. Previously, I talked a little bit about track. I talk a little bit about the WNBA expansion, things like that. So if you guys are interested in kind of seeing what I explore, I do a little bit of everything, right? It's all about that that versatility when it comes down to producing content. Check out the videos. Guys, yesterday was the Super Bowl, right? Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I think personally that is not the best Super Bowl, right? Yeah, the Eagles came up on top. Shout out to Hurts, right? To finally win his first Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles. Patrick Mahomes is trying to go for a three streak, right? Try to go for a third time to win the whole entire thing. But sometimes, these things happen. But I think what I was disappointed the most, I kid you not, was the fact that they're just a deficit, right? Overall, just how the game went, the momentum. It felt like, they paid off the O-line for Kansas City to just not do nothing. And, it just seemed so weird. You know what I'm saying? I'm not used to seeing Mahomes really performing the way he did last night for the Super Bowl. It just seemed like a totally different team. You know what I mean? It was very hesitant. O-line wasn't really stopping that defense, right? But I got to remember, too, that the Eagles had one of the best defenses in the league, NFL, right? They were the best defense practically the whole season, or one of the best defense, I should say, rather. But overall, right, Super Bowl wasn't the best. I didn't really like the commercials as much. Growing up, they used to have Doritos commercials. They used to have all these funny commercials. They had a few commercials that, sent a pretty good message. I wanted to talk about that. Is that what I've noticed like this year is that they were trying to send a lot of messages, especially for a lot of the charity organizations, cancer programs and things like that. It was a great ad on this boy. I guess he is a cancer patient, going through cancer treatment, and I think they did a great job with the overall film of the commercial. But overall, it just seemed like there was more of those types of videos, more of those types of commercials than what we're used to with those funny types of skits and commercials during the Super Bowl. Another thing is that Nike had a commercial that had Sha'Carri Richardson. They had Caitlin Clark. They had a few athletes who are well known from different sports. So I think that commercial period was a really high high rated commercial by Nike. But again, going back to it overall, I think if I had to rank it on a scale from 0 to 10, I think overall the Super Bowl presentation was a 6 out of 10. Kendrick Lamar performed as well. If you guys missed out the halftime show for the Super Bowl, Kendrick played or rapped, I would say, some of his top songs, right? His hits and the whole diss tracks and things like that between him and Drake. It was all last year. He threw it in and in the Super Bowl as well. If you guys missed it too as well, President Trump was there in attendance the first time that a president really showed up to a Super Bowl, right? He wanted to kind of go out there, and I guess, people were saying it could be a publicity stunt, right? Just really trying to get himself out there. But there's mixed opinions about it. Guys, let me think what you all think about the fact that, whether or not a president is supposed to go out to a Super Bowl event where there's millions. There's so many people, right, in one venue. Should a president be out in an event like that? Let me know what you all think. I'm not gonna tell you guys how I feel about it. I just want to hear what you all think. That's why there's a comment section down below. But guys, this past weekend too as well, besides from the Super Bowl, enough of that. We had some pretty good basketball. I want to cover the college basketball, specifically men and women's side. Let's start off with the women's side, right? Overall, I just want to say real quick in this video, I'm just going to make my prediction. I think the top 4, to be honest with you, I think is going to make it far in this year's NCAA tournament. I want to say Notre Dame is doing excellent, right? We got the duo Miles, right, alongside with Hannah Hidalgo, right? But the team overall is a pretty structured team. They have an excellent coach. They are undefeated throughout the whole ACC, right? They make the ACC look easy. And mind you or not, the ACC is actually considered to be the most competitive conference in the NCAA D1, as you guys know, right? So for them to be performing well against all these teams and just knocking off every team like that, it's unheard of. It's crazy. And it is very historic in the Notre Dame's program. Women's basketball is really transforming. So Notre Dame is one of my top picks. UCLA right now is one of the best women's team in the country. They are ranked number 1 last time I checked. UCLA is going to be pretty tough to take down. Number 3, I think NC State is going to probably go pretty far, right? NC State always have a solid squad when it comes down to a Final Four caliber type of team on the women's side. But last but not least, I want to also say UConn, right? UConn Huskies with Paige Beckers. Right now we're experiencing and we're seeing a wave of new athletes, right, on the women's side that are performing well. And they are going to transform the WNBA is going to turn into a totally different type of league when these women, these young ladies, when they get into the league, is going to be a totally different story. We're already seeing it with Caitlin Clark's draft class, with Angel Reese and a couple others as well. We see how much the WNBA has already transformed with this new unrivaled league. And, you know, I don't know how many people are really watching these games, but it is a pretty highly competitive league on the women's basketball side. Guys, let's go into the men's basketball. Right now, I think Houston is going to be an excellent team. I think they are Final Four caliber, right? Again, I am covering the men's side. Florida looks pretty strong. I don't know if they're going to make it all the way to the Final Four, but they did terrific. I mean, they took down Auburn, right, which is the team that everyone thinks is going to win the national title. I want to say Auburn does have a very high chance of winning the national title. They kind of remind me of a back in the day Kentucky. If you guys are highly dedicated basketball college fans, you will remember that the Kentucky team with AD, right? I believe they even won that championship that year. Solid lineup, right? It kind of reminds me of John Calipari's group right there back in that time. Same thing with Auburn right now. I think they have all the different guys that they need who are playing playing excellent, right? Defensively and offensively as well. If you really study Auburn's game, they're a dominant team. And also when it comes down to home games, they're very dominant. So I think Auburn's going to be a team to beat, but we also want to look at the overall SEC, the most competitive conference right now on the men's side when it comes down to basketball. Anybody's game, right? A lot of these teams are going to be in the tournament. Tennessee is pretty solid as well. Ole Miss. There's so many teams that could just pull off a miracle, right, at this point. Duke is also a high favorite. So at the end of the day, I do feel like, let me just break it down for you all, right? And again, I want you all to comment down below. I want to hear what your suggestions are. I think it's good. There's going to be Houston. It just depends on how they're going to structure out the bracket. My 4 is Houston. It could be Auburn. It could be Duke. And then that 4th spot is always what I struggle with the most, right? I struggle with that, but I think Tennessee could pull through as well, right? Let me know what you all think. The last thing I want to talk about, guys, another recap, is track for sure. Again, I told you guys that I really want to make sure that I'm keeping up with this track thing. Masai Russell also won another 60-meter indoor hurdles. This is the 2 weeks in a row, I believe. She's on fire, right? But guys, you want to look into this. Look, there's a few sprinters, few hurdlers, I should say, that haven't really competed yet, right? Camacho Quinn, great sprinter, a great hurdler from Puerto Rico. Haven't really seen her yet. Also, there was this other great athlete from Nigeria as well. She's a veteran at this. And another hurdler as well from France, right? These names are not in my head right now, but I'm going to post it on the screen so you guys can know who I'm talking about. But there are some excellent women who are great at hurdles that haven't really ran yet, haven't really began their season. I think Masai Russell still has a lot in store. She's a great athlete. I do believe that right now she can still maintain that rank, but again, once Camacho Quinn goes in and a few other veteran hurdlers, I think it's going to be a very spectacular season, indoor hurdles and also the outdoor as well. But guys, that's my brief recap for the weekend. I think overall, you know, Super Bowl is just not the best. You know, I've seen better Super Bowls out there. Again, at the end of the day, these two teams did excellent. I think Patrick Mahomes shouldn't really take it too hard. I feel like he's going to come back a new year, right? The next season, he's going to come on pretty strong, right? He's going to learn from his mistakes, and he's going to make them a stronger team alongside with Kelsey. Philadelphia Eagles, congrats on the whole fan base. You know, they've been a spectacular fan base throughout the season, and I think that it's well-deserved win and championship overall. Women basketball, men's basketball, guys, keep track of everything. These games are closing in. The regular season is about to end, and we're going into conference play. Then we're going to get into the March Madness, right? So it's going to be an excellent year coming up with that. And, of course, with track and field, World Indoor Championships are coming up pretty soon. So I'm going to make sure I keep you guys updated with what's going on both on the men and the women's side with sprinting specifically. But, guys, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to hear all these different types of things that I do talk about, right? If you guys want to suggest a discussion, a topic, a debate, whatever, just let me know in the comment section. I'm always here. I'm going to see you guys in the next video.